Hello, this is Charlie from High Voltage Robotics, continuing the series Vex IQ Tutorials Volume 1. This is Episode 2, all about drivetrains. If you are familiar with Vex, you will likely be aware that a drivetrain is one of the most important parts of your robot, if not the most important. There are many types, sizes, speeds, and styles of drivetrain. However, it is essential to know what kind of drivetrain to build. So let's get started on our first section, Types of Drivetrains. Section 1. Types of drivetrains. So there are 5 general types of drivetrains. Number 1, classic. Number 2, H-drive. Number 3, X-drive. Number 4, Kiwi drive. And number 5, chain drive. Let's go over each. Number 1, classic. This is the drivetrain that uses 4 to 6 omni or traction wheels and up to 4 motors. This is the most commonly used drivetrain, and it can drive straight forward and backwards and can turn left and right. Number 2, H-drive. The H-drive is similar to the classic. It uses all omnis and uses 3 motors. 2 motors for a forward-backward turning motion, and 1 placed perpendicular to the other motors, to side. Number 3, X-drive. The X-drive is shaped like an X, hence the name. All 4 wheels are perpendicular to each other, and it uses all omni wheels. It either uses 2 motors or 4 motors. It is a bit difficult to code. The X-drive can slide forward, backward, left, right, and it can turn. 4. Kiwi drive. The Kiwi drive is the most uncommon of them all. It is similar to the X-drive, but with 3 omni wheels and motors instead. This is the most difficult to code, and it can drive straight, backward left, and backward right, and it can turn. Number 5. Chain drive. The chain drive uses either 2 or 4 motors connected to sprockets and chain that have much traction to the ground. It is not a competitive design, however, it can be used to drive over objects. It can drive forward, backwards, and turn. Other more rare drivetrains can include a 3-motor drivetrain. It uses differential gears to split the power among 2 sides. I can't cover it in this video, but I placed a link to another video about this in the description. And that's all of the common drivetrains. There are so many speeds, powers, and sizes of other drivetrains, though. But once I've chosen my drivetrain, how do I build it, and how can I get this to be a speedy drivetrain? That brings us to our next section, speed. Section 2, speed. If you're a Vex IQ veteran, you'd understand that many competitive robots are really fast, and you may be wondering, how do I make my robot really fast? Well, here's the answer, gear ratios. Watch our first tutorial for more information on gear ratios. Anyways, a fast drivetrain will need a fast gear ratio, or a speed gear ratio. The Vex IQ Smart Motor's max RPM is around 100, but we want more than that. For a heavy robot, 7 to 11 pounds, the max speed would be 2 to 1, or 200 RPM with 2 motors, and a 5 to 2, or 250 RPM with 4 motors. For a medium weight, 4 to 7 pounds, a 5 to 2, or 200 RPM is good for 2 motors, and a 3 to 1, or 300 RPM is good for 4 motors. For the lightest robots, below 4 pounds, a 3 to 1 or 300 RPM is good with 2 motors, and a 4 to 1 or 400 RPM is max for 4 motors. Anything over 11 pounds will require a lower ratio. But how do we actually create these ratios? Well, you're going to need to attach the driving gear to the driven gear. In other words, connect the input gear or first gear to the motor. Attach the second gear or output gear to your wheel or wheels. Be sure to use spacers and washers. Definitely don't use plastic shafts if you don't have to either. Once you've chosen your drivetrain and speed, in this next section I'm going to give you an example of a frame of a drivetrain that you can use as inspiration for your own. Section 3. Drivetrain frame, how to build. Just a disclaimer. This following build is for more experienced roboteers. If you're a beginner, I'd recommend building the base spot and innovating or making it better in your own way. Link to instructions are in the description. Now back to the frame. You can use this frame to create a classic drivetrain, H-drive, or chain drive. To create this, you'll need 6 2x20s, 4 double 2x wide 2x2 double offset corner connectors, and 16 pins. Start replacing pins into the 4 middle holes in the 4 connectors like so. Next, connect the 2x20s using the connectors as shown. Finally, connect them with the last 2x20s on either side, and that's it. To stabilize it more, add bracing throughout the center using a 2x beam and a connector. To make it drive, add wheels and motors, and get some speed, use gears to make a speed gear ratio. To create an H-drive, add a perpendicular wheel and motor in the center, and use 2x-beams to stabilize it. To create a chain drive, replace the wheels with sprockets and connect them with chain. And remember, always use washers and spacers. Never use plastic shafts. To build an X-drive, look for other online resources. It is a more advanced build, so I wouldn't recommend it for beginners. For the Kiwi drive, a link to the build instructions is in the description. If you are confused about the gear ratios section, I'd recommend watching our first tutorial on gear ratios. Link is in the description. And that's a wrap on drivetrains. I hope you learned a lot. Remember to like and subscribe. It helps us make videos like this for you to watch. Join our Discord. Link is in the description. And visit our website at highvoltagerobotics.org. That's highvoltagerobotics.org. Look out for more future tutorials as well. On December 1st, we're learning about pneumatics. This is Charlie from High Voltage Robotics, and thank you for watching.